Hello everyone, hope I'm audible and visible to all of you. If I'm audible and visible, you can write it in the comment section that I'm audible and visible. So today is 11th November, and in today's Hindu analysis, we will also look at the articles of 10th November 2025. So what I had done, like yesterday also in the morning, I was about to schedule 10th November, and in fact I scheduled this thing, but I was not well enough to continue this. So yesterday the good articles which were there in yesterday's newspaper, we'll talk about this, and I will tell you. Like there was one article on sites H, which was on page number 8 on 10th November, which we have already discussed on 5th November. What is the issue with sites? You can go to 5th November Hindu analysis of mine, which is uploaded in the video section. Then there was an article on Aditya L1, which we have already discussed. There was an article on COP30, which we have discussed. Again, there's an article today on COP30 in South Asia, multiple articles, we will discuss it. There's one article which was there on 10th November yesterday, which was related to 27th Amendment. We will discuss it today because we have not discussed it in previous Hindu analysis. Cool, sir. So I'm not well. Keep me in your prayers. And yes, I will need you people's support, in any which way possible by joining courses, by donation. So support. Otherwise, without your support, nothing can go on, be it Hindu analysis or be it anything else. My name is Shubham Sagar, guys, and just give me a second. I was in my own world. So, good morning, Gajanan. Good morning, Matt King. Good morning, Harshini. Good morning, everyone else. Let's start the discussion. And my name is Shubham Sagar. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. This is my Telegram channel. You can join it. I will upload the Hindu analysis PDF by 9:30 a.m. here. So yesterday means on Saturday, I gave you people this particular question. Why are US aircraft carriers considered to have greater range? Let's start the discussion. Greater range and endurance compared to Chinese carriers. What is the answer, guys? Upload the Hindu analysis PDF by 9:30. So the voice is fine, right? So they are larger in size, they carry more aircraft, they are nuclear powered, they operate in groups with submarines. So what is the answer? I think Gajanan gave the answer yesterday only, or that particular day only when we asked this question. Harshini, Gajanan, and Rishi, they have given the answer. They are nuclear powered. Cool, sir. And then let's move on to let's come back to present and let's talk about today's article and 10th November article. So again, we take the toughest article as the first article, irrespective of whether I know anything about that article or not. The point is we should know these things and it will give you a happy feeling. Again, here we don't have to do PhD in this article, which is there on page 18, Science to GS3, Science and Technology. They will talk about certain terms which we need to know. What is ferromagnetism? What is anti-ferromagnetism? So generally, when you talk about, magnetic objects, magnetic particles, so you talk about these things. You talk about magnetism in two different arenas, ferromagnetism and anti-ferromagnetism. So ferromagnetism means they have a parallel magnetic spin. And let's have a look at this. We just are concerned with the basic definition of this particular thing. What is ferromagnetic? What is anti-ferromagnetic? And what scientists have deduced now. The third form of magnetism, that is altermagnetism. See, this is not similar to diamagnetism or paramagnetism, which you may have read earlier, which is based on how many pairs of electrons are paired or not. We are not going there. Focus here. Magnetism, two classifications are there, ferromagnetism and anti-ferromagnetism. In ferromagnetism, the spins are parallel to each other. The magnetic spin is parallel, and because they are parallel, they will reinforce each other. So you have a positive magnetic field. So if a particular element is ferromagnetic, it will show magnetic effect. It has a strong external magnetic field. On the other hand, objects which are anti-ferromagnetic, that means they have alternate spin. The magnetic spins are opposite to each other, thereby cancelling each other. Because the spins are cancelling each other, it will have zero magnetic field, no net external field. So the elements or the substances or the compounds which are, which shows anti-ferromagnetic property, they will not have any net external magnetic field. Which are showing ferromagnetic properties, they will have strong external magnetic field because of the parallel or alternate spin cancelling each other. Good morning, Jiva, and good morning, Iltush. So hope you understood. Now scientists are saying that magnetism do not exist in only these two forms, ferromagnetism and anti-ferromagnetism. There is third form which is there. which is known as altermagnetism. What is altermagnetism? So in some ways, altermagnetism will show properties of antiferromagnetism. In some other ways, they will show property of ferromagnetism. Please guys, from exam perspective, what is important here? You understand what is ferromagnetism, what is antiferromagnetism, and where altermagnetism will show antiferromagnetism property and where they will show ferromagnetism property. So now, there has been experimental support which is means emerging that there is a third form of magnetism, altermagnetism. So like antiferromagnets, their spins are opposite to each other, so they show zero net magnetization. So as far as spin property is concerned, this altermagnetic properties or objects, they will show antiferromagnetic spin, or the pattern of spin parallel to, or means opposite to each other. But there is another thing which is known as spin splitting. We will not go into the intricacies of this phenomena, guys. We don't need to. This is beyond our syllabus. This is the beyond the syllabus of even those guys who are having chemistry optional. Just understand what is ferromagnetism, parallel spins, what is antiferromagnetism, opposite spin, ferromagnet, which will show more stronger magnetic field, ferromagnetism. What is altermagnetism? They will have no net external field like antiferromagnetism. Why? Because they have opposite spin. Opposing spin cancel externally. But like ferromagnetism, they have something known as spin splitting, which is a hello or hallmark of ferromagnets. So you can understand. If I ask you right now, good morning, Vikas, iron, where will you keep iron? You will keep iron as ferromagnetic or anti-ferromagnetic? What will be your answer? So hope you are understanding what is this altermagnetic structures. They are showing properties of both anti-ferromagnetism and ferromagnetism. Anti-ferromagnetism, they have opposite spin, and ferromagnetism, they have spin splitting property. That's it. We don't have to do any other PhD. We just have to understand that. We just have to understand what is ferromagnetic, what is anti-ferromagnetic. They are not similar to diamagnetic and paramagnetic, which are basically about electrons, how many pairs of electrons there are, if there is any unpaired electrons or not. We'll talk about diamagnetic, paramagnetic some other time. Let's focus on this particular question so that you can remember whatever we have just studied. Which of the following magnetic materials exhibit zero net external magnetic field due to complete cancellation of magnetic movements? And complete cancellation will happen when there is opposite or opposing spins rather. Oh my god. So which of these shows parallel spin and which shows opposing spin? And here we are not focused on the parallel spin, we are focused on the opposing spin. So what is the answer, guys? Mad King has given the answer. Gajanan has given the answer. Harshini has given the answer. Rishi has. What we have just discussed, cancellation of magnetic movements, zero net external field. That happens when this property is there, when opposing spin is there. Antiferromagnetic and altermagnetic are same in this regard, that they both have zero net magnetization because opposing spin cancel externally. So altermagnetism, in this regard, it is similar to antiferromagnetism. So both antiferromagnetism and altermagnetism, they show this zero net external field. So the answer is C, 2 and 3 only. Hope you are understanding why the answer is C and why the answer is not B, which most of you have stated. Are you people understanding? We have just discussed altermagnets. They are similar to antiferromagnets in this regard. They both have zero net external magnetic field because they have opposing spin. And then altermagnet has something known as spin splitting, which is similar to the ferromagnets. That's it, guys. We don't have to do PhD. People who have mentioned B, are you understanding why the answer is not B and why the answer is C? Cheppandis, guys. Cheppandis, Cheppu Tulsu Ledu Kadu. Next question, MCQ2. In ferromagnetism, the strong external magnetic field is produced by ferromagnetism, antiferromagnetism, altermagnetism. So what we have discussed, why there is a strong external magnetic field in ferromagnetism. Very good. GY and Matt Kick, Gajanan, all of you have understood it. So ferromagnetism, parallel spin, and when it's parallel, in a way you people are supporting each other. Let's take an example in a class. One person is saying something, other person is saying the same thing, 10 person are saying the same thing. That means you are reinforcing each other. But if one person is saying something, other person is saying the opposite thing, and again another person is saying something else, so you are canceling each other. So external field is, magnetic field is there. Why? Because of parallel spins. Spins are aligned parallel in ferromagnetic particles, as we have seen ferromagnetic particles. Cool. So B is the answer as stated by Harshini, then Gajanan, then Iltush, then Rishi, then Jivayan. Next is MCQ 3. Consider the following statement regarding altermagnetism. Altermagnets show zero net magnetization like antiferromagnets. Altermagnets exhibit spin splitting similar to ferromagnets. This is a factual question, guys. If they're asking this question, they will ask you in pre. In mains, they cannot what they will ask. Or even if they ask you in mains, you will just make the diagram. How does ferromagnet work? How does antiferromagnet works? Parallel spinning, opposite spinning, blah blah blah. So what is the answer of MCQ 3? Harshini has given the answer. Altermagnets show zero magnetization like antiferromagnets, correct? Because they have opposite spin. Altermagnets show spin splitting similar to ferromagnets. That is also correct. So it shows both the properties. So the answer is C, both as stated by Harshini, then Matt King. Jivan also tried it. Jivan, both the statements are correct. And Rishi and Gajan. Gajan, see this. Second point we have discussed. I have just told you spin splitting, how does it work, the mechanism, etc. We don't need to go into the intricacies of all these things. Beyond our syllabus, what will you do? You don't have chemistry optional, right? So how they are similar to altermagnetism is showing properties of both ferro and anti-ferro. We have just discussed. Have a look at this. Cool. Just that. No need of doing any more PhD. This will suffice for whatever exam you're preparing, especially UPSC, CSE. Let's come to the bigger articles. Cool. Page number 6, editorial GS2, GS3. What South Asia wants from COP30. So GS3, we know it's environment, right? COP30. And here again, there will be some more keywords which we have to understand. GS2, why? Because it is talking about South Asia. It is talking about different organizations of South Asia, etc. So again, important article written by Arunabha and Jhalak. Jhalak, I always, when I participated in a serial, it was known as Jhalak Diklaja. So I and Jhalak were participants, and then we went our own ways. Very good girl. She's a very good girl. Who is a good girl? Jhalak Agarwal. So again, let's focus, guys. What this article is saying. This article is saying that condition is worsening when it comes to climate finance, when it comes to extreme events, flood, landslides, heat waves. They all are intensifying in South Asia. Guys, can you tell me one thing? Is India a part of South Asia? India is a part of South Asia or not? What countries you will include in South Asia? This is your homework. People who are already part of my different initiatives, this is one thing which you have to send me today or tomorrow. Difference between South Asia and Southeast Asia. And the question here is South Asia a part of, you know, is India part of South Asia or not? UPSC has already asked a question on this, so we need to know this. It's important. So, global order is STEM, with weekend climate pledges. What does it mean? We have talked about Green Climate Fund. We'll keep on talking about all these things. Different climate funds which was pledged by developed countries during Paris climate deal. They will give us this much money, that much money. They are not giving us that. So all these things, they are not. US has withdrawn from Paris agreement. The way or the mechanism is so weak. Anybody can withdraw anytime. It's not good. It's not good for small island states. It's not good for countries like us who are very vulnerable, who have vulnerable coastline. We'll also talk about Bangladesh today, what is happening there, Tista River. So there are many topics today which is related to geography and environment. Guys, India is a part of South Asia or not? And Chipandi is fast. Jivayan, Gajanan, Rishi, Mad King, Harshini, and other people. Is India a part of South Asia? Yes or no? The repeated exit from Paris Agreement has hurt credibility of climate process. You can see here, region like South Asia, region has nearly 2 billion people at risk. So many things are happening. Our coastlines are submerging, and we are doing, it's not like South Asia is not doing. We are doing our work. We are investing in renewable energy. We are focusing on adaptation and mitigation measures. Whenever we talk about this, yes, India is a South Asian country. Very good, Gajanan. Very good, Jivayan. So adaptation and mitigation, we keep on talking about these two terms. Remember these two terms, they are actually very important from different exam perspective. So what is adaptation measures? Adaptation means we are adapting to whatever is happening, like climate resilient infrastructure, climate resilient crops. These are example of adaptation. Mitigation is when we are trying to reduce the impact of GHG or reduce GHG emissions. Let's say you are doing electric vehicles, so you're making electric vehicles, you're focusing on renewable energy, so you're trying to mitigate or reduce carbon emission. So this is mitigation. So we are focusing on mitigation, adaptation, everything. Please guys, do remember the basic difference between mitigation and adaptation. This article is talking about 5 concerns. Implementation gap. We make promises and then the delivery is not fulfilling the promises. Again, let's focus on the keywords, guys. The keywords are very important. Everybody can do this jibber jabber. Focus on the keyword. What is the keyword here? Enhanced NDCs. What is enhanced NDCs? We know about NDCs, nationally determined contribution. What is enhanced NDC? Let's say India made certain pledges in 2015 during Paris Climate Deal. Then let's say India again submitted, and they submitted something called as INDC, intended nationally determined contribution. What are our pledges? How much carbon emission we will reduce? Then let's say in 2022 also we submitted one NDC or INDC same. Now it should be enhanced. It should be somewhat better than what we promised in 2015 because our efficiency is increasing, right? We are becoming better and better. So that is enhanced NDCs. That means whatever promises you have done, let's say you to make some promise in 2024, then in 2025 you are becoming a bigger and better version of yourself, so you should be doing some, making some new better promises. Same goes with climate contributions as well. Enhanced NDCs, better NDCs compared to your previous nationally determined contribution. Only 65 countries have worked or improved their NDCs, not enough. Out of 190 plus countries, less than one third countries are enhancing their NDCs. This way, we will not be able to, reduce global temperature below 1.5 degrees Celsius or even 2 degrees Celsius from 1850 to 1900 level. So again, we need to focus on stronger governance. And there has to be more incentives so that more and more countries focus towards enhanced NDCs. Most of the people will talk about NDCs. You have to talk about enhanced NDCs. Okay, cool. So, okay, let's focus. Why my face is looking like this? Adaptation must get equal importance as mitigation. Everybody is focusing on mitigation, renewable energy, electric vehicles, this and that. That's fine. But at the same time, focus on adaptation also. Climate resilient crops, climate resilient infrastructure, buildings, how you will make them. So all these things have to be done. Major focus is on mitigation. This article is saying that adaptation, people should also focus on adaptation. Heat days above 35 degrees Celsius could double by 2100. Glacial lake floods because Nepalia, because Nepal has Himalaya, so they also witness something known as GLOF, glacial lake outburst of floods and etc. Heat waves are happening in India. Coastal threats are there in Maldives. So South Asia is impacted a lot, and we need to focus on both adaptation and mitigation. We need support, and then there is something we will talk about Belém too. Or there is a very interesting quote here which we'll talk about. Baku to Belém roadmap. Again, this is an important keyword. Just like we have talked about enhanced NDCs, we should also know what is Baku to Belém roadmap. These keywords are important. Cool. So what are the we are talking about five major concerns. Third concern, climate action requires rebuilding trust. Trust is being broken when USA is withdrawing from Paris climate deal. Trust is being broken when they are not providing us fund which they promised, the green climate fund which they promised under Paris climate deal. So again, easy exit from agreement destroys trust. Developed countries are not on track to meet 2030 NDCs. So that's why this article is saying that something has to be done. Something has to be done. And what else has to be done? What are the fourth and the fifth point? Fourth point is focusing on climate finance must be predictable, adequate, and accessible. So there is this Baku COP29 happened in Baku. Anybody knows where is COP, like where is Baku? Kuthai hoitasi Baku? Which particular country Baku is located? COP30 is happening in Belém. So it is COP29 to COP30, $1.3 trillion. Again, developed countries, they have promised us something. Developed countries, private finances. So there was a promise which was done in Baku COP29 that by 2035, developed countries, private finances, they will provide $1.3 trillion. Do remember the year here. What is the boundary line here? By 2035, developed countries, private finances will ensure that we are, or developing countries are getting $1.3 trillion every year by 2035. They are continuously increasing the year. Azerbaijan, as stated by Iltush, Mad King, and GYN. Cool. So $1.3 trillion Baku to Belém roadmap needs clear pathways and accountability. Again, they have promised something in Paris climate deal also. There was a green climate fund also. There were other funds also. They did not fulfill it. What is the guarantee that they will fulfill it this time now? This 1.3 trillion Baku to Belém roadmap. Tripling adaptation finance is essential. Again, they're talking about how climate finance, whatever they are promising, they should give us. Non-state actors, again, they're talking about private sector, community participation, blah, blah, blah. So hope you're understanding the keyword. What were the keywords here in this article? Enhanced NDCs, Baku to Belem roadmap. Why South Asia is so much impacted? Because different countries are witnessing different kind of climate related disaster, Nepal, etc. And that's why we are worried. We are worried because developed nations, they are not on the way to achieve their NDCs. Developed nations, they are not fulfilling their financing promises which they did. So again, that's why we are worried. Cool, sir. COP29, Baku, Azerbaijan. Very good. So technology exclusion remains a major barrier. See, there is also one thing. Finance transfer is good. Finance transfer is one part. The other part is technology transfer. You also sell us technology, you also transfer technology, how we can adequately use solar energy, wind energy, etc. So again, developing countries, including countries of South Asia, we are saying that it's not only about money so you have to give, at the same time also give us technology. But again, it's all quid pro quo. Developed countries can always ask, yes, we got, we developed during the time when there was no restriction on carbon uses, but if we are giving you these finances, these technology transfer, what in return we are getting? Maybe they feel like they're not getting enough returns and that's why they are not helping. So again, there is a thing which is going on here. Finance transfer, technology transfer, everything is needed. Need for better access to, you can see all these things. Delivery must replace promises. So this is a problem which is continuously occurring in UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, and their COPs, that whatever they're promising, they're not fulfilling it. And that's what is written here. Mutual clarity and exit pattern is also very easy. Cooperation has to be there, implementation has to be there. Maybe even UNFCCC is going the UN way. Slowly and gradually it will also fade if big countries like US are not a part of it. So let's, and that's why this article is saying that somebody has to take the lead, and that somebody will be South Asia. We have to come together and we have to take a lead there, because we will be majorly impacted by these climate changes. It's not like only small island states, like Fiji, Mauritius, or you talk about different small island states which are adjacent to Australia and New Zealand, they will be impacted. No, we will also be getting impacted. So something has to be done. Now, if we talk about this particular mains question, explain the difference between climate adaptation and mitigation, and analyze why adaptation stand or must stand shoulder to shoulder with mitigation in South Asia. So here what you will talk about. First of all, you will intro, body, and conclusion. So in intro, you can talk about, or you can just, in intro, you can just talk about one line, or difference between adaptation and mitigation. And then in the body part, you can talk some more, like what are the examples of adaptation? Climate resilient crops, climate resilient infrastructure. In mitigation, you can talk about what are the examples of mitigation? Electric vehicles, focus on renewable energy, etc., etc. And then the second part of the body will be why adaptation must stand shoulder to shoulder with mitigation in South Asia. Here you can talk about how Nepal is witnessing glacial lake outburst flood, how we are witnessing, India are witnessing drought, how coastal sliding and landsliding, etc., is happening in Maldives. We'll talk about even Bangladesh. There are so many things which are happening there because of the continuous change in the flow of Brahmaputra and Tista river. Tista, UPSC has already asked PYQs on Tista river. So many things are happening, and that's why mitigation is one thing. Adaptation, we have to adapt also according to the changing climate situation. And because of these scenarios and the vulnerabilities which is witnessed by South Asia, and that's why adaptation must stand shoulder and shoulder with mitigation. So introduction, climate mitigation, adaptation, two pillars of climate action, and then you can talk about the difference. Mitigation causes, it means they focus on reducing GHG emissions, renewable energy, blah, blah, blah. Adaptation, climate resilient crops, climate resilient infrastructure, and why adaptation is essential. Heat days above 35 degrees Celsius could double by 2100. Nepal, Maldives, everyone is facing something or the other. Adaptation improves livelihood resistance. When we will reduce climate, or global temperature by 2 degree or 1.5 degree, that is a different matter altogether, but currently we have to live with it, and for living with it we have to adapt. Institutional support, we need money, we need climate fund, and this 1.35 whatever is Baku to Belem roadmap, that has to be adopted. Technology transfer has to be done, and that's what is being written here. Mitigation reduces future risk. This is a very good line, guys. This you can use anywhere and everywhere, and this is a very important fulcrum of environment related topics. Mitigation versus adaptation. Mitigation reduces future risks, adaptation saves life today, and that's why this article was also saying that equal focus has to be given on adaptation. Mitigation everybody's talking about, we should talk about adaptation as well. For South Asia, balanced approach, blah blah blah. Read this. Question or MCQ4. In the context of climate change, mitigation is fundamentally different from adaptation because. Why it is different? Mitigation occurs at local levels only, while adaptation occurs at global levels. Mitigation focuses on reducing greenhouse emissions. Adaptation focuses on responding to climate impacts. Mitigation involves purely technological innovation. Adaptation involves infrastructure development only. Adaptation can be measured easily, mitigation cannot. Mad King Iltush, they have given the answer. Mitigation focuses on reducing greenhouse emissions. Adaptation focuses on responding to climate impacts. This is the best option. B is the best option. These are some keywords, guys. Most of the people, they don't know the difference between these keywords, mitigation and adaptation. So Mad King, Iltush, Gajanan, and Jivan, they have given the answer. Very good. MCQ 5. Which of the following correctly describes climate adaptation? These words are important. What do you understand by climate adaptation? Have a look at all the options and use option elimination after you have read all options. Which of the following correctly describes climate adaptation? Chipandes. Oh my god, why my fever is so long, guys? Can you people tell me anything? Like, you people are from so many different spheres. So anybody is a doctor here? My fever is like more than 5 days now, I think. So is this a viral fever? What should I do? I have taken so many medicines. Nothing is working, man. Right now I'm at my 50% capability. Yesterday I was in such a bad state, I was not understanding any article. My mind was not working. So which of the following correctly describes climate adaptation, guys? Mad King, Iltush, Gajanan, they have given the answer. So third is wrong. This is not adaptation, this is mitigation. Mitigation focuses on reducing global greenhouse gas emissions via focusing on renewable energy, electric vehicles, etc., etc. So third is wrong, right? If third is wrong, you're left with A, B, and C. That's why this is a tough question. Even if you know third is wrong, the work is not done. It enhances resilience. That's what we were discussing when we're talking about means mitigation. It is talking about reduction in future. Adaptation is adapting to today's needs, so it enhances resilience. First is correct. If first is correct, now you're left with A and C. It includes building sea walls, drought resistant agriculture. Yeah, all these things are correct. C is the answer. 1 and 2 as stated by Mad King, Iltush, Gajanan, and Jivain. So D is not the answer. Third is mitigation. No issues, no issues. Third is mitigation. Reduces, whenever we talk about reduction, that is mitigation, that is not adaptation. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. You can join these courses. If you have any issues about these courses, you can, WhatsApp me at 9650303257. We'll talk about it at the end, but I will need your support, be it by joining any course, by donation, you people will ensure whether these things will go on or not. Be it Hindu analysis or other things. Page 18, science to GS1, GS2, GS3. All these things. Now, whenever you witness these kind of articles, which are linked to all the three portion of your GS means paper, these articles are important. Why GS1? Geography. Brahmaputra, Teesta River, etc. We'll talk about that. We'll see some maps. Why GS2? It is because, again, India-Bangladesh relationship. These rivers, they are also important aspect of India-Bangladesh relationship. And then why GS3? Because, again, disaster management, and also environment. So these three, like this particular, I think you need rest. I know, Jivayan. I need rest. So I have decided now what I will do is I will try to do Hindu analysis every day, and then after that I will take a rest. Uh, So yeah, other things will be on hold for the time being. So again, let's focus, guys. So geography, and then we have talked about. Let's focus. So Brahmaputra, Teesta rivers, they're eroding land faster than ever. In means your body wants rest. I think that's why you're tired, and if you also stay with you long, I can understand. So first of all, let's try to understand the difference between Brahmaputra and Teesta river, guys. So if you see this thing, Brahmaputra river, it is originating in Tibet. This is Brahmaputra. This is known as Yarlung Zangpo in China and Tibet, and then it will enter into India. It will enter from Arunachal Pradesh, and then it is entering into Assam. And then it is going to Bangladesh. It is known as Jamuna. So again, Teesta River, it is originating in Sikkim. Tista River is not directly going into Bay of Bengal. It is joining Brahmaputra. It is joining Jamuna when it enters Bangladesh. So these are some facts which you have to keep in mind, because they can give you the source of Tista and Brahmaputra. Origin point is same. No, it is not same. Origin point of Tista is Sikkim. Origin point of Brahmaputra is Tibet. Tista is not directly draining into Bay of Bengal. It is joining Brahmaputra, which is known as Jamuna in Bangladesh. So these are some facts which you have to keep in mind. So in a way, if somebody asks you right now, is Tista a tributary of Brahmaputra? Yes or no? What is your answer, guys? Tista a tributary of Brahmaputra or not? And then there is another question. What is the name of Ganga in Bangladesh? If you know it, post it in the comment section. So now let's come back to this article. What this article is talking about. They are saying that these Brahmaputra, Tista, they continuously change their path, because of which they are eroding land. And again, and why this article is talking about this? Because we are going through COP30. We're talking about South Asia, and again, this is an article which is there on the science page. So what is happening here? There's again a keyword here: char, temporary island formed by river sediments. So river is depositing, and again we have talked about fluvial landforms. I have told you this particular thing, right? Like, river is originating. And just give me a blank slide. So what we have discussed. So let's say a river is rising, fluvial landforms we call it. From upstream, it will come to downstream, and when it is coming from upstream to downstream, the speed is very high. So in the initial stages of fluvial landform, erosion is the major work done by rivers. And here only you see canyons, etc., gorges, etc., being formed. Gorges, Grand Canyon, etc. And then in the middle stage, transportation. What is happening? River, because the velocity of river is so high because of the steep gradient, it is carrying all the sediments with it, which it has actually eroded, and it is transporting it. At the lower stages, this is a middle stage. At the lower stage, major work is deposition. So whatever rivers are carrying, they are depositing it at the lower stage, which leads to delta formation. You see these temporary islands chart, they are also formed by these kind of depositions. Temporary islands formed by river sediments. So they can ask you this. Padma, Mad King has given the answer. Padma, very good. You people are so good, Padma. So again, let's focus, guys. What we have just discussed. Fluvial landforms, see, understand, fluvial landforms, river created by, means landforms created by rivers. It's not like they're only doing erosion in the upper stage, they're only doing transportation in the middle stage, yet they're only doing deposition in the lower stage. It's about major work. Major work is erosion in the upper stage, major work is transportation in the middle stage, and major work is deposition in the lower stage. And char is formed is an example of one such deposition. But these are temporary islands. A river will change its course and these chars will become unstable. They will be eroded. Family continuously rebuild homes. So they can give you this particular statement. The chars are very stable landform. They are not. And this is your homework today. Read about fluvial landforms. You know, read about fluvial landforms, different types of landforms, solve some UPSC PYQs on fluvial landforms. That way static and dynamic portion is being done. So as the world focus on UN climate summit in Brazil, November 10 to 21, Bangladesh situation again. Is Bangladesh a part of South Asia or not, guys? In some way, you're seeing a linkage between this article and the previous editorial, although it is on science page. So Bangladesh, Nepal, India, Maldives, everybody is facing issues. Despite being seen as a model of climate resilience, Bangladesh cannot keep up with worsening climate impact. Climate change, melting Himalayan glaciers feeding Brahmaputra and Tista exacerbate river flow and erosion. And that's why these char are being eroded. Cool. World Bank estimates 1 in 7 Bangladeshis could be displaced by climate related disaster. What is important from exam perspective, guys? This particular point. Brahmaputra, where is it? Means, originating. Tista, where is it originating? Tista is a tributary of Brahmaputra. Yes. What is the name of Brahmaputra in Bangladesh? Jamuna. What is the name of Ganga in Bangladesh? Padma, as you people have already stated. Mad King and GYN have already stated. So these are the facts which is important. Then there's another river which is known as Rangit. Rangit is a tributary of Tista River. So keep these facts in mind. It will help you in solving some UPSC PYQ, which we will just see. Gender burden. Women are facing lots of hardship during these displacement, which is happening in Bangladesh. Why? Because they are, doing cooking in this waste deep water, moving 6 times in 10 years. So again, they are facing a lot of issues. Climate change is happening. Adaptation and mitigation, they should get equal focus, and this article is in some way related to the previous article. Now let's solve a PYQ based on whatever we have discussed. Remember the facts, whatever we have discussed. Use option elimination, you'll be able to, and you should be able to solve this particular question. So with reference to river Teesta, the source of river Teesta is same as that of Brahmaputra, but it flows through Sikkim. River Rangit originates in Sikkim and is a tributary of river Teesta. River Teesta flows into Bay of Bengal. Again, a good question, guys. It's a good question. It's a tough question. River Teesta flows into Bay of Bengal on the border of India and Bangladesh. Chepande is. And Chepande is fast, guys. Chepande is fast. Gajanan is given the answer. Source of river Teesta is not same. We have just discussed. Source of river Teesta is in Sikkim. Source of river Brahmaputra is in Tibet. Oh my god. See, Teesta source is here. Brahmaputra source is here. How they are same, guys? You people, just give me a second. So again, first statement is wrong. If first is wrong, two options are gone. You don't need to check the second one. If you had no idea about river Rangit, even then you would have been able to solve this question. This is the beauty of UPSC. We just needed to know first is wrong. Now we have to check third one. River Teesta flows into Bay of Bengal. We know it doesn't flow into Bay of Bengal. It flows into Brahmaputra. Brahmaputra, which is Jamuna, it in turns flow into Bay of Bengal. Even that also statement is wrong. Jamuna becomes a tributary of Padma, which is a tributary of, like, which is Ganga, and then all of them flows into Bay of Bengal. So Teesta directly does not flow into Bay of Bengal, guys. Teesta flows into Jamuna. So that statement is wrong, Chepandis. Hope you are understanding what I am saying. River Teesta does not flow into Bay of Bengal. River Teesta flows into Brahmaputra or Jamuna. It is not directly going into Bay of Bengal. So third statement is wrong. Answer is B, 2 only. Oh my god, all of you are saying C. Oh my god. People, are you understanding why C is not the answer? Third statement is wrong, guys. River Teesta is not flowing into Bay of Bengal. River Teesta is flowing into Brahmaputra or Jamuna. Jamuna in turns is flowing into then Ganga, Padma, and then Padma is flowing into Bay of Bengal. So it's a tricky thing, but hope you are understanding why C is not the answer. Cool. Now there is a homework for you people. Revise this and see the official UPSC answer of 2017 and tell me tomorrow what is the answer, B or C. B is the answer. Third is wrong. It does not flow into Bay of Bengal. It flows into Jamuna. Let's solve this MCQ 7 now. Cool. With reference to char in the Brahmaputra basin, we have talked about char, what these chars are. Cool, cool, cool. And we have talked about fluvial landforms, erosion, transportation, deposition. So again, read all these statements and use option elimination. This question can be solved by option elimination. So chars are temporary islands formed by river sediment accumulation. Chars remain stable for decades due to their, Iltush has given the answer, due to their high elevation and we have discussed they are not stable, guys. They are very unstable because Brahmaputra, Teesta, they keep on changing their course because of the, they get, what we talk about, Himalayan rivers, etc. They are perennial. Why? Because they get rainfall from two sources, from snow and from rainfall, which happens actually. They get water from two sources, snow and rainfall. On the other hand, peninsular rivers are seasonal in nature because they get water from only one source, that is rainfall. So because they keep on having varying level of water, they keep on displacing these chars. So they are very unstable. And that's why these women, and we were talking about how they were cooking underwater. Just give me a second. What happened here? Where have we read that? If you see this part, Iltush has given the answer. Iltush is such a good girl. Char temporary islands formed by river sediments are highly unstable because these rivers, they change their course and they displace these chars. Cool. So that second statement was wrong. If second is wrong, you are getting the answer A, 1 and 3 as stated by Iltush, then Mad King, then Gajanan, then Rishi, then Jivayan. Very good. Then page number 6, editorial GS2, celebrating a sage king, a celebration of India-Bhutan ties. Important article, guys. It will tell you about India-Bhutan relationship established with 1949 Treaty of Peace and Friendship. It was again, and at that time in 1949, when India-Bhutan Treaty of Peace and Friendship was signed, we had some aspect of foreign relations which were controlling of Bhutan. And then it was revised in 2007, this particular treaty, where all the things related to foreign relationship of Bhutan will be managed by Bhutan alone. Because there is a concept which is known as big brother, small brother attitude, which happens when there is a big country which is managing a small country, let's say Bhutan, then Bhutan may have some issues related to sovereignty, and there can be, like, we not annexed, we made Sikkim a part of India. Many people in Bhutan, they can feel like maybe one day Bhutan will be made a part of India, so they don't want that. Again, hope you can understand. So there has to be, and there were some sovereignty issues, and that's why in 2007 the Treaty of Peace and Friendship between India and Bhutan was revised, and now they have full control over their foreign rights. India is Bhutan's largest trading partner. So do keep these facts in mind. They're actually important. What is happening here? Modi sir will go to Bhutan. Yeah, yeah. That's cool. Modi sir is awesome. But before that, K4, K5, let's focus. So Jigme Singye Wangchuk, K4, he turned 70. He is the father of the present king, Jigme Khesar Namgyel Wangchuk, who is K5. Again, these are numbering of the kings. And K4 is revered as Bodhisattva. Now, these are the terms which are important from exam perspective. Chepan these guys in the comment section. Bodhisattva is a part of Mahayana or Hinayana Buddhism. And now do tell me what kind of Buddhism these Bhutanese kings are practicing. Bodhisattva is a concept of Mahayana or Hinayana. This has already been asked in UPSC PYQ. So he is a K4 is revered as the, again, he will turn 70, birthday will be happening. Modi sir is going to attend his birthday. Modi sir did not go to Gaza summit. You know, Modi sir did not go to ASEAN summit. Modi sir is going to the birthday of K4. Why? Because of neighborhood first policy. It's not anything. It is showing how much we love Bhutan. Mahayana, as Iltusha stated, K4 strengthen Bhutan-India relationship, recognizing. And again, what are the other areas of cooperation between India and Bhutan? Hydropower or electricity. We have earlier given them money to construct, and border road organization was creating roads for them. We give them, not there's a very fascinating relationship between India and Bhutan when it comes to electricity. So what happens, we give them money, we give them loan for creating hydropower generating projects, and they don't pay us immediately. They will generate electricity and then they will export this electricity to India. And what is happening? We are not paying back that electricity. For hope you are understanding, we are paying them the loan, they are giving us the electricity quid pro quo, and that's how this whole loan thing works. So we have cooperation in roadways construction, we have cooperation in hydropower. Hydropower is actually a very important arena. Like, Bhutan is getting 40% of their whole revenue from electricity. So K4 strengthened, again you can see this. K4 invited border road organization to design, build and maintain Bhutan's road network. Now they are handling such tasks independently. Again, sovereignty issue. If a particular organization of another country is making all your roads, after a certain point of time, it doesn't look cool. K4 initiated the idea of leveraging Bhutan's river for hydropower. Hope you're understanding the areas of cooperation. India is Bhutan's largest trading partner, road network, hydropower, and how hydropower cooperation works. This is actually a fascinating thing. So project was being under traditional India funded model, where India provides initial capital and repayment comes from electricity sales. They will sell us electricity, and that's how the repayment is done. Then there is Punat, Shangchu, to Hide. Now, from pre perspective, they can ask you this particular thing, guys. BBIN, very good, Vikas. That is in limbo. What is the current status of BBIN, Vikas? Mahayana concept Bodhisattva. So they can ask you, Punat Sangchu hydroelectric project is an area of cooperation between India and Nepal, India and Bhutan. So keep it in mind, guys. Formally inaugurated by PM Modi, so blah blah blah. Already started generating power. Both sides have now decided future hydropower projects will use private capital. Now, Tata Power and Adani Power, they will be giving money. Right now, what was happening? Indian government was providing money, and then they were providing us electricity. Now, these Tata Power, Adani Power, Modi sir, Adani, they don't even know each other. But yes, Adani will be giving money. And again, India continues to support Bhutan, blah, blah, blah. You can read this thing, and we'll talk about India-Bhutan relationship in detail some other time. But I have given you an idea. 1949 treaty, 2007 it was revised, Now they have full control over their foreign relation. Now Bhutan has full control over their road construction, hydropower, road construction, major areas of cooperation. India, Bhutan's largest trading partner, one of our great friends. And again, you can see all these things. Bhutan-China relationship, Doklam thing happened, and why Doklam was very important for us. We'll talk about it in some other lecture. But again, India-Bhutan relationship is awesome, and fingers crossed, touch wood, everything remains awesome. Because currently we don't have so awesome relationship with other countries, so to say, neighboring countries. But Modi sir is here, Modi hai to mumkin hai, and Modi sir will again make everything awesome, make India great again. just like Trump is making America great again. Operation All Clear. Oh, see this thing. We were talking about other things. India remains so during 2000s, when in 2007, maybe because of this, in 2007 treaty was revised, treaty of peace and friendship between India and Bhutan. Because in 2003, what Bhutan did, they expelled Indian insurgent groups from Bhutanese territories, and then Indian forces captured them when they entered into Siliguri and the Indian region. So Operation All Clear, they can ask you it was related to what. So remember these operations, very, very, very important. Oh my God. Bhutan temporarily opted out. Okay. Vikas is such a good boy. So Operation All Clear was a coordinated action carried out by whom? What is the answer, guys? मोदी है तो मुमकिन है. I'm drinking ORS these days. Operation All Clear 2003 was a coordinated action carried out by whom? Indian Army targeting militants in Bhutan, Royal Bhutan Army targeting Indian insurgent groups inside Bhutan. No, Indian Army did not go into Bhutan, Gajanan. If you see this thing, if you go back, Operation All Clear. The Bhutani people, they expelled Indian insurgent groups. So it was not about Indian forces going inside Bhutan. That will be again a violation of their sovereignty, right? Sovereignty is a very sensitive issue. Very sensitive issue. So Royal Bhutan Army targeting Indian insurgent groups inside Bhutan. B is the answer. As stated by Gajanan also tried it. Vikas, Kirija, Iltush, Mad King, G1. I think today's terrorist attack in Delhi. See, but Modi sir is here, Rishi. How come these terrorist attacks are happening? Don't these terrorists fear Modi sir? मोदी है तो मुमकिन है. Terrorist attack in Delhi, riots in Delhi. Oh my God. Okay. Next article. This is an article of yesterday's newspaper, 10th November 2023. I have told 2025. I've told you yesterday a news came on sites which is related to, and I have discussed sites on 5th November. If you go in the video section, you will see a detailed discussion on sites along with UPSC PYQ. So yesterday COP30 article came, which we have discussed today also, we have discussed yesterday also. This article is somewhat new, which was not discussed earlier. 27th Amendment, it is trying to reduce the power of judiciary in Pakistan. So they can ask you 27th Amendment, which was in news, it is related to what? So, and again, what is the name of the upper house of Pakistan? So they are known as Senate. So there are certain terms. Their lower house is known as, like in India, we have Lok Sabha, their lower house is known as National Assembly. Upper house of Pakistan is known as Senate. These are some basic things which we should know about our enemy, right? We should know about things related to our enemy. And then this 27th Amendment bill, they can ask you, it is related to Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Nepal, related to Pakistan. And here they are trying to, and this is like a death knell for Supreme Court. Because if your judiciary does not have power, who will challenge the authority, be it executive or legislature or army? So again, they are doing so many things via this 27th Amendment. The major work, intergovernmental organization, 25 injured. Sir, I know, Rishi. I'm in Gurgaon only, but something will happen. In our time, when you people were not born, means born rather, Nitish Kumar sir, he was the railway minister at one time, and some railway accident happened, and then he resigned because he took responsibility for all those things. Today, so many people die in Jammu Kashmir, die in Delhi, and all. No minister take responsibility. No minister resign. In our world, when we were born, you people were not. At that time, people used to, or ministers used to take responsibility. If something has happened, we will resign. But do you think anybody will resign because of what happened in Delhi? They will be like, ना ना. बड़े बड़े शहरों में ऐसी छोटी छोटी बातें होती रहती हैं. That means in big cities, these kind of things happen. Nobody will resign. Things will go like this, and we'll keep on be happy. Like Modi hai to mumkin hai. Modi sir is here. That's why all these things are very possible. Okay, so another major, so hope you are understanding. 27th Amendment related to what? Reducing the power of Supreme Court. Many opposition political parties in Pakistan, they are not very happy with this whole thing. They are like, no, we will do a protest and this and that. But this article is saying by Sunday evening, no protest had taken place anywhere despite the announcement. Maybe they just want to show to people how much concerned they are about reduction of power of Supreme Court or judiciary in Pakistan. Sometimes you say something and you do something else entirely. Like we were talking about Vande Mataram in previous Hindu analysis, Modi sir is saying that we will not allow divisive forces to rule our country. So you say something and you do something entirely else. We're not saying Modi sir is doing that. Modi sir always say one thing and he does the exact same thing. But yes, maybe. Again, what is important from exam perspective? 27th Amendment related to which country? What is the upper house of Pakistan called? The Rajya Sabha in Pakistan is Senate, and their Lok Sabha is Assembly. Just keep it in mind. Factual information. Maybe UPSC will not ask it, but other exams they can ask it. Again, it's an evolving thing. It will be in news. So now MCQ 9, guys. The Border Road Organization involvement in Bhutan is significant. Why? मोदी है तो मुमकिन है. So have a look at this particular question. Think about this particular question. We will discuss the answer of this particular question tomorrow. And that's it from me, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Pray for my health. This is the Telegram channel. You can join this. I will upload the PDF by 9:30 a.m. or even before that. You can post your score, whatever you have got. And these are the courses which I'm running right now, the paid courses. If you want to join any of these courses, if you have any queries related to any of these courses, you can always send me a WhatsApp message. You anyway get these PDF, so you can go through these courses. Means answer evaluation, I will focus on that. You should be doing means answer writing anywhere or everywhere, even if you're preparing for 26 or 27. So personally, I feel like this means answer evaluation, this history through NCRT series, mentorship, these three courses will be actually very good for you. EPFO is for EPFO guys, it's not for you people. So again, any queries related to any of these sessions, feel free to WhatsApp me. Cool, sir. And you can also donate. Do donate, guys. All these things will help. You're not understanding it, but you will realize in future. All these things do help. I cannot do anything without you people's support. Plus, your competition is you only. You're not competing with anybody else. So yes, donate. Do donate if I'm adding anything to your knowledge base. That's it from me, guys. And thank you, Vikas. Thank you, Gajanan. Thank you, Jivayan. Thank you, Kirija. Okay. Thank you, Vikas. Bye-bye, guys.